भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय मूर्तये नमः। ॐ इत्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ॐ इति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। पेज 368। अथ यज्ञेत्याचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येण ह्येव यो ज्ञाता तं विन्दते। अथ यत् इष्टम् इत्याचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येण ह्येव इष्ट्वा आत्मानमनुविन्दते। य आत्मा स्थितत्वादिगुणैः स्तुतः। The Atma that has been extolled by these attributes, Srituhu Vidrutihi Tat Prapte. For attainment of the Atma, that is so great because having so extolled, so that exalted Atma, to attain the Atma, know the Atma. Jnana Sahakari Sadhanantaram. Jnanam, knowledge of course, is the primary means. If knowledge can mean upasana, then it is a means of realization. If knowledge is the Brahma Jnana, it's a means of knowing it as its own self. Sahakari sadhanantaram. So many sahakari sadhanas are required. Antaram, further, an additional sahakari, complementary means that you also require. So jnanam, the pursuit of knowledge, is the main means of knowing or realizing Brahman. But accompanying that, complementing that also, there must be other spiritual practices required. Basically, what is meant is that the values one should have should be in keeping with the goal or the objective one has. So if there is a destination to which I want to travel, then whatever I do should be directed to that destination. If I walk in that direction, if I am tired and I eat something, that is also for that. If I am thirsty, I drink water, that is also for that. Or if I do not eat and drink so that I will be comfortable on the way, then also it is for that purpose. So how once a destination is determined in our mind, then everything and anything that we do should be focused on that. Then that pursuit will be effective pursuit. Not only number one, I should avoid doing opposite to that anyway. If I go in the north direction, should avoid going in the south direction. That's number one. And number two, not get distracted if I have to reach my destination. And number three, I should do what is required to enhance my journey. I require some proteins, vitamins, etc., certain diet in order to increase my strength. That's all becomes the sahakari sadhana. So therefore, everything that we do should be in keeping with our objective. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, amanitvam, madambhitvam, meaning all of them give rise to a state of mind which is conducive for knowledge. So when knowledge is a primary goal, then this state of mind which is conducive for knowledge becomes also the goal. But unless that mind is there, then no one cannot gain the knowledge. You need this particular disposition of mind even to listen. For Shravanam also, Manam also requires certain disposition of mind. Certain attitudes are required, which should be cultivated. Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga. So Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyanam, Yoga. So these are all sahakari sadhanas. Jnanam is the primary one, the Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga. All the sahakari sadhana, which facilitates the primary pursuit. So, there was sadhanantaram brahmacharyakyam vidhatavyam. Shruti feels that there is an important sadhana of spiritual means called brahmacharya, celibacy, which means that conserving one's energy, avoiding any kind of expenditure or triggering away of us the scattering of energy anywhere else. Our physical, emotional, mental energy should not be scattered away, and they should be conserved and they should be directed in the direction of pursuit of knowledge or pursuit of meditation. So although brahmacharya is explained as celibacy, Bhashyakara keeps saying that as Bhashyakara explained, Stri Vishaya Trushna Tyagena. So the word brahmacharya is explained primarily as celibacy, but should be explained as overall self-control. Sanniyamya indriya gramam. Indriya gramam sanniyamya. All the 10 sense organs should be samyak niyamya, very well controlled. Meaning that the energy should not be scattered away from any gateway. So that should be brahmacharya, of which celibacy is the important part. So brahmacharyakyam vidhatavyam. Shruti feels that must be enjoined. Yajnādivisya tat stavati kartavyartham. For that the stuti, which is arthavada, which is vidhishesha, which serves the purpose of vidhi, that one should practice brahmacharya. And therefore brahmacharya is here equated to many exalted things, which are well known. as the means of the Purushartha sadhana, as Bhashyakara will say, they are well known as sadhanam, means for Purushartha, for achieving the human goal. So yajna chakshade loke. Parama Purusha, the Bhashyakara makes it clear. Parama Purushartha sadhanam kathayanti. So what they say called yajna, not just the word yajna, but then for the people who know what yajna means, the word yajna also creates in them a corresponding meaning. What's the meaning? Parama Purushartha sadhanam. So by yajna is meant Parama Purushartha sadhanam. Sadhanam means of attaining the ultimate goal. Kathayandi Shishta. Not just anybody, Shishta. The learned people, the cultured people. Tad brahmacharyameva. That yajna also is nothing but brahmacharya. Yajnasya vyat phalam tad brahmacharya labhate. Whatever phalam or the out reward a person attains by practicing or by performing yajna, that one attains also by observing brahmacharya. अतः यज्ञोपि ब्रह्मचर्यं भवति प्रतिपत्तव्यम्. Therefore yajna also is brahmacharya because phalaikyam. Because phalaikyam, the phala, the outcome is the same and therefore they are equal. So sometimes there is ekata, phalaikyam is there. Sometimes there is the akshara is there. So different kinds of similarities are seen here to equate the two. Katham brahmacharyam yajna ityaha. How is a brahmacharya yajna? Brahmacharyena vahi yasmahat yognyata satam brahmalokam yajnasyavi paramparena phalabhutam vindate. So by performing the yajna, one can attain brahmaloka. And by brahmacharya also, one can attain brahmaloka paramparena. So brahmacharya brings about the conserving the energy and antahakara shuddhi. And that way it becomes a means of, through antahakara shuddhi, then one performs meditation or pursues knowledge. That's how one attains brahmaloka. Tatah yajñopi brahmacharyameva iti. Therefore, yajna also is brahmacharya, or brahmacharya is yajna because of phala aikyam. Yognyadayati aksharana vrutte yajna brahmacharyam eva. Vrutte api, actually, not vrutte eva. And so, even because there is the aksharana the congruity or the suitableness of the letters. Yo, Jnata, Ya and Jna are there, and therefore also Yajna is Brahmacharya. Or in Brahmacharya also the Ya letter is there, and in Yajna also it is there. So that also you can say there is the similarity of the letters. Then Asayat Ishtam Itya Chakshade. Then what you call Ishtam means worship. So Ishta is explained as the past participle of root yaj, in the sense of worshipping. Brahmacharyameva tata. That also, that worship also is indeed. So worship is well known as the Paramapurushartha sadhana. And Brahmacharya is also worship. Katham? Brahmacharyanaiva sadhayena tabishwaram ishtva. By worshipping Ishvara through the means of brahmacharya, pujayitva, meaning that if that ishti or worship also is accompanied with brahmacharya, then esham atmavidyam kritva, then that creates atmavishaya esha. The worship of the Lord accompanied with brahmacharya creates eshana, the desire, atmashaya, for knowing the self, vividisha it creates. tam atmanam anuvindate. And as a result, there is pursuit of knowledge and one gains the knowledge of the self. Therefore, this Ishtam is explained both ways. Ishta is the past participle of Yaj, also past participle of Ish, in sense of Ichchaya. So Ishta Devata can be both ways. Ishta Devata also is Ichchita Devata, Devata that is desirable, that is worshipful, and also Ishta Devata, one that is worshipped both ways. Ishta Devata can be explained. Ishanad Ishtamavi Brahmacharyam Eva. Ishanad means Ishana Janakatvat. So Brahmacharya also creates Ishana, and that way worship also can create Ishana and then become means of knowledge. Brahmacharya also creates Ishana and becomes means of knowledge. Now continuing the page 369. अथ यत्संत्रायणम् इत्याचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येण ह्येव सतः आत्मनः त्राणं विन्दते अथ यन्मौनमित्याचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येण ह्येव आत्मानमनुविद्य मनुते. सत्रायणम इत्याचक्षते. What they call सत्रायणम? से निरनपुरी बहु यजमानम वैदिकम कर्म सत्रायणम. A Vedikam karma, which is a sacrificial ritual, which involves Bahu Yajmanam, which involves many sponsors. In fact, a Satra and then Trayanam. So Satra is, in fact, a long sacrificial session. A yajna that lasts for a number of days, up to 1 year. Or in Nimisharanya, all the 84,000 rishis are gathered to perform Satra of 1,000 years. So Satra is a yajna, a sacrificial ritual that lasts for a number of days. But here the explanation is Bahu Yajmanam Vedikam Karma. So many yajna kunda or yajna vedis must be there, and so many yajmanas must be making offering and so forth. That's called Satrayanam. Or if you look at the Abhinava Narayana, then Anandagiri says the same, Bhayajmanakam Vedikam Karma. Here says Asiran Upeyuhu Itevam Asi Upaye Chodana Vihita Yajna Satrani. Asiran Upeyuhu. Asiran, they should sit and do. Upeyuhu, they should assemble and do. Itevam. So the yajnas that are enjoined with these kind of words, or this kind of verbs of Vidhi. So Asiran Upeyuhu. That's how the ling lord tavya. And so these are the express verbs of enjoyment. So even Asi Upay, Asi means Asiran, Upaya means Upeyuhu, Chodana Vihitaha. Where this Chodana or these injunctions are there, involving such verbs as Asiran, Upeyuhu, Yajna Satrani. So yajnas which in their enjoyment involve the verbs Asiran, Upeyuhu, they are called Satras. Tanyeva Samvatsara Dinakala Sadhyani Ayanani. Those Satras, those yajnas which stretch over a year, they are called Ayana. So Satra also is there, Ayana also is there. So Dubhayam Satrayanam. And therefore, it is Satra also and Ayanam also. Satrayanam becomes Satrayanam. So it is a yajna that involves many yajmana also, and it is also a yajna that stretches over a long time. It's called Satrayanam. Yadyapi yajna shabdeneva teshavi graham siddhyate. In fact, the thing is that this Satrayanam also is yajna, is not a separate thing, So yadyapi yajna shabdeneva teshavi graham siddhyate. So yajna is a general term. Satrayanam is a particular kind of yajna, understand? Involving many yajmanas and lasting over a number of days, that particular kind of yajna is called Satrayanam. So when you say yajna in general, all these yajnas are included there. When you say bird, then it includes also the sparrows and parrots and peacocks and everybody. But then when you want to mention something specific, so tathavi go balivardhan nyayana. Go means what? A cow or a male cow. Balivardha also is a male cow. And still, so what is it? Balivardhasya go visheshatve api. The balivardha means an ox. An ox also is nothing but a cow, male cow. Because the word go obtains in both the feminine, masculine and feminine genders. So go can mean a male cow as well as a female cow. So when you use the word go, it includes balivardha, which is male cow. But balivardhasya jaditi gotvena bodhanartham. And so go balivardha, they say. So it's not just cow, but then immediately you know that it's balivardha, it is male cow. So sometimes conveying that this is a male cow is so important that instead of just using a general word which also would include a female cow and may not immediately convey to you what this particular cow is, so go balivardha, they say, it is go, but at the same time balivardha, a specific cow, a male cow. So similarly, nyayana tad vidirikta yajna paro yajna shabdaha. So therefore, Satrayanam yajna iti achakshate. That should have included Satrayanam. But then word Satrayanam is here specifically mentioned like balivardha. Which means that what was mentioned as yajna earlier should stand for all the yajnas except Satrayanam. Because so tad vidirikta yajna paro yajna shabdaha iti. And then when you say go, balivardha, go means what? Cow other than balivardha. Here also yajna means all the yajnas other than Satrayanam. So going back to the passage, atha yat Satrayanam iti achakshate. So what they call Satrayanam? Brahmacharya meva tata. There also is brahmacharya only, nothing more than that. Why? Brahmacharyena eva sata atmana tranam vindate. Now Satrayanam. So now is Akshara Anugunyam. So what Satrayanam explained as Sat and Trayanam. So Satrayanam, that's how Satrayanam. But now other way of looking at it, so Satra plus Ayanam becomes Satrayanam, or Sat and Trayanam becomes Satrayanam. So Tranam is protecting. So Satrayanam, so Satah Tranam. So one gets protection from Sat. So because this yajna protects us, and therefore also it's called Satrayanam. So just as this yajna called Satrayanam protects us, so also Brahmacharya protects us. And therefore the Phalaikyam again. So because of the sameness of the result, Brahmacharya and Satrayana are the same. Of Brahmacharya is Satrayana. Asayan maunam iti achakshate. And what they call maunam means silence or contemplation. Maunam is mananam here. And so Shravanam, mananam, contemplation. Brahmacharya tata. So what is Maunam also is Brahmacharya alone. Brahmacharya hi eva atmana anuvidya manute. Because that contemplation is possible and you know it. Here contemplation means nididhyasana really. So nididhyasana means meditating upon the self. And that is possible only when you know the self. You can meditate upon that which you know. You cannot meditate upon something which you do not know. So one can meditate upon the self provided one knows the self. How would you know the self? Through Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya hi atmanam anuvidya. Through antahakana shuddhi, one gains the knowledge of the self, and then manute, then one is able to contemplate upon the self. Again phalaikyam, and therefore, so Brahmacharya brings about mananam. Therefore Brahmacharya is means of mananam. So he is sadhana sadhya. Therefore Brahmacharya is mananam, or manan, or maunam. See what Bhashyakara says. Atha yat satrayanam ityasakshate brahmacharyam eva tata tatha satah parasmad atmanah atmanah tranam Rakshanam Brahmacharya sadhanena vindate Ataha Satrana Sabdamapi Brahmacharyam eva Tata Atha Satrana Vyatakshate. So what is called Satrana? Brahmacharyam eva Tata. That is nothing but Brahmacharya. To explain Tata Satah, so Shruti herself said, Satah Atmana Trahanam Vindate. Atman is for oneself. Satah from Sat. One attains protection for oneself from Sat. So Bhasya says Satah Parasmat Atmana. So word Satah is explained as Parasmat Atmana. In fifth case. From Paramatma. Atmana Trana. That Atman is sixth case. Atma Tranam, one attains Tranam, the protection for oneself. So Tranam is Rakshanam, Brahmacharya sadhanena vindate. So by the sadhana of Brahmacharya, one gains the protection from Paramatma. So then Paramatma protects us. But how do you assure that protection from Paramatma? Either you perform that Satrayanam or you follow Brahmacharya, then the Paramatma protects you. So you guarantee or make sure of protection from Paramatma by following Brahmacharya. So then, atha yat satrayam vyachakshate brahmacharyam eva tat tatha. That is the word tatha. Anandagiri says tatha yajnavat ishtavaccha ityartha. Similarly, the previous passage equated brahmacharya with yajna and with ishta. Similarly, here brahmacharya is equated with satrayanam. Katham satrayanam brahmacharya antarbhavati iti. All of these things are included in Brahmacharya. Yajna, Ishta, Satrayanam and many other things are all included in Brahmacharya. Because whatever result you get through them is what you get through Brahmacharya. So Anandagiri says, Katham Satrayanam Brahmacharya Antarbhavati. Because so how do you say that? Satrayanam also gets included in Brahmacharya. Satah Parasmadatmana Tranam Rakshanam Brahmacharya sadhana vindati. You go to other Tika in the line 26. Tasya Chitta Shuddhi Dwara Atma Rakshanam. So how does brahmacharya bring about the rakshanam, the protection for oneself? Tasya chitta shuddhi dvara. So brahmacharya brings about the chitta shuddhi, the purification of the mind. Then in turn brings about knowledge, of course, the pursuit. So atma anatma viveka. Dehadi rupata adhyaropa nivritya. So dehadi rupata, looking oneself upon as deha, that is adhyaropa. So nivritya. So when the antakarana shuddhi is there, when there is purity of mind, then one is able to do atma anatma viveka. Then alone a distance can be created. It's one thing to say that mano buddhi ahankara chitta, I am not manaha buddhi, that's one thing. But to really create the distance, nacha shrotra jikhve, I am not the body, I am the sense organs, I am not the mind. But that requires creating a distance in the mind. To be able to separate oneself from the body, from the sense organs, from the mind. To be able to see them as objects, as drishya, and seeing oneself as drashta. So that requires a certain disposition of mind which is called antakarana shuddhi. Only if mind is sattvic or mind is pure, then alone that distance can be created. The sattvic or pure mind can be attained through brahmacharya. So tasya chitta shuddhi dvara atma rakshanam dehadi rupata adhyaropa nivritya. Adhyaropa means the identification. That's a habitual thing. The habit of identifying the body that we have brought with us, ignorance. But the knowledge is going to require a lot of effort, and it's going to require creating a distance with them. And that requires the antakarana shuddhi. So, anashanam phalam yattad brahmacharyena sadhyate. So here anashanam comes in the next one, but anyway, anashanam phalam yad brahmacharya. So anashanam, one becomes free from distraction. So by recognizing oneself as separate from this body, mind, sense complex, see the notion that I am a mortal being and the fear from death was all the result of the identification of the body. If I knew myself as I am, there was no need, no reason at all for any fear. But the fear was created in me, fear of death and all other kinds of fear are all created in me on account of taking this body, etc. to be myself. So when that distance is created, when I know myself as Atma as I am, anashanam phalam Veda vinashinam nityam yaena vajamavyam avinashi nityam ajam. So then yatta brahmacharyena sadhyate. Through antakarana shuddhi and through knowledge, one gains the knowledge of the self as oneself. Abhayam pratistham vindade. Then Upanishad says one gains the pratishtha, abidance in abhayam, in fearlessness. So there is a protection from all fear. So ultimately knowledge that gives you protection from all fear. That Bhashyakara, the Tikakara explains. The path aikyam. So anashanam, next one says anashakayanam. So path aikyam is there. Because brahmacharya brings about anashanam, and that anashanam also is anasana. So freedom from ashanam or from fasting. So iti pathaikyam aksharanuvrittisya drashtavya. And akshara anuvritti, anashanam, anashakayanam, etc. Tatha, therefore, Bhasya tatha satah paramasmaditi. Now again Tikakara says, Bhinnatvena dushtasya tasya. So satah paramatmana tranam. protection from that Paramatma. There's another thing also, that Paramatma alone becomes the cause of fear. Paramatma alone becomes the cause of fear, and therefore you need freedom from fear from Paramatma itself. How does Paramatma become the cause of fear? Udaramantaram kurute atha tasya bhayam bhavati. The Upanishad says that when one creates even a slight distance from the self, from Paramatma, tasya bhayam bhavati, then fear arises. See how that innocent rope becomes the cause of fear. Because of superimposition of snake upon that rope. So how do you get protection from the snake? By recognizing the snake as a rope. So that knowledge gives the protection. In as much as the fear was the result of ignorance, therefore, in as much as in case of rope snake, the fear was the result of ignorance, therefore knowledge alone can remove that fear. So also Upanishad says that all the fear in our life is only because of ignorance. If Atma, the self, was known for what it is, there was known cause, occasion for fear. But because I create distance with Atma, how do I create distance? By identifying myself with Upadi, looking upon myself as Ahankara, because Abhimanam, identification, then Asmita, I look upon myself as an individual self, as Ahankara. Ahankara is an insignificant entity. However great I may think I am, and still, as far as infinite is concerned, I am insignificant. So this poor Ahankara or the ego can never be free from the sense of insignificance regardless of what it does. It becomes millionaire and billionaire and trillionaire, whatever it can become. It becomes minister and chief minister and prime minister, whatever you become. But as long as there is a sense of individuality, you may be a great individual, alright, but individual means insignificant regardless of how great you are. Ahankara, the law of insecurity is there and fear is there. So this is called creating a distance. Looking upon myself as Ahankara, as an individual self, and that way I have managed to create distance from the limitless self. As the Swami used to say, what's the distance between one and infinity? Infinity. 100 and infinite distance is infinity. A million and infinite distance is infinity. A billion, trillion, as long as there is a finite number, however long or big that finite number is, the distance between the finite and infinity is infinite. So that's how the distance is created by ignorance. I create distance with my own self, with my own true self. So bhinnatvena dustasya tasya, that, so satah parasmat atmana, that Paramatma when looked upon as separate from oneself, udaramantaram krudityagyana bhaya hetutva avagamat, that very Atma becomes bhaya hetu, becomes the cause of fear. Can you imagine that Paramatma causes fear? Because whatever causes fear is Paramatma. So he alone can cause fear, because he is the true nature of everything. Brahmacharyasya jnana dvara. So Brahmacharya brings about the antakarana shuddhi and the knowledge. In that mind alone, the knowledge of the self can take place. Then alone I can see myself for what I am. Tannivartakatvam. Then the identity is recognized, there is no fear. That's how Brahmacharya also satah atmana, from sadatma, from Paramatma, tranam. Where Paramatma himself is a source of fear and protection from Paramatma. That is how this Tikakara is explained, So Sata Atmana Tranam. Or you can say that Paramatma becomes a protector. That's another way of also looking at it. that because of knowledge of Paramatma, he himself becomes a protector. So Satah Parasmad Atmana. On account of Paramatma, Atmana Tranasantranam or Atma Rakshanam, the protection of oneself on account of Paramatma. Or protection of oneself from Paramatma, both the meanings are applicable here. Okay, now continue with the Bhashya. अथ यन्मौनम् इत्याचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् ब्रह्मचर्येणैव साधनेन युक्तः सन् आत्मानं शास्त्राचार्याभ्याम् अनुविद्य पश्चात् मनुते ध्यायते अतः मौन शब्दम् अपि ब्रह्मचर्यम् एव. अथयत् मौनमित्याचक्षते, and what they call maunam, silence or contemplation, meditation upon the self. Brahmacharyameva tata, there also is nothing but brahmacharya. Why is it so? So, brahmacharyenaiva sadhanena yuktasan, equipped with the spiritual means, namely brahmacharya or celibacy. Atmanam anuvidya, one comes to know the self. How? Shastracharya bhyam anuvidya. So, knowing the self in keeping with the upadesha of the shastra and acharya. So then, brahmacharya through antakarana shuddhi and through pursuit of knowledge becomes the means of knowledge. And then paschat manute, and after that he contemplates upon the self. Atah bhashya mauna shabdamapi. So maunam is brahmacharya, mauna shabda also is brahmacharya. Because manute, anuvidya manute. So maunam says tika, maunam vagadi sanyama. Here maunam is interpreted as the silence at the level of speech. Tasyavi mananam phalam. Even that maunam in the sense of silence also brings about knowledge. Tadvatayo tat sambhavat. So mananam or contemplation is possible only for the person who also observes silence. Not only at the level of speech but also at the level of mind. And therefore tat sambhavat, therefore mananam phalam. So phalaikhyam is there, brahmacharya, so maunam and brahmacharya bring about the same phala. Aksharanuvrutyartham manute iti uktam. Aksharanuvrutyartham. So anuvidya manute, that's why manute it is said, So mananam and manute. So maunam and manute. So therefore aksharanuvrutti is what? The akshara that are in maunam also, they also follow in what? In manute. And so anuvidya manute. So brahmacharya anuvidya manute, because one attains one is able to meditate upon the self through brahmacharya, and maunam also is mananam. So that way brahmacharya and maunam, both of them are one. So Bhashyakara said that mauna shabdamapi, because mauna and manute and brahmacharyena atmanam anuvidya manute. In that sense, akshara ikyam also is there. So word maunam, so what is maunam also is brahmacharya, word maunam also is brahmacharya. That's what seems to be the meaning here. The next passage. Atha yad anashakayanam ityachakshate ब्रह्मचर्यमेव तत् एष ह्यात्मा न नश्यते यं ब्रह्मचर्येण अनुविन्दते अथ यत् अरण्यायनम् इत्याचक्षते ब्रह्मचर्यम् एव तत् दरश्च हवै हवै न अरश्च अरश्च हवै ण्यश्च अर्णवौ ब्रह्मलोके तृतीयस्याम् इतो दिवि तत् ऐरं मदीयं सरः तदश्वत्थः सोमसवनः तत् अपराजिता पूः ब्रह्मणः प्रभुविमतं प्रभुविमितं हिरण्मयम् अनाशकायनम् इति आचक्षते. अनाशकायनम, look at the tika, line 30, ashah ashanam, tat abhavah anashah, in fact. So ashah ashanam, asha means to eat. And then anasha is to fast. And swarthika, so anashaka it becomes. Swarthika, meaning that adding the suffix ka does not change the meaning. That's what is swarthika. So anashakam is same as anasham. So anashakam is what? Anashanam. Ashanam is eating, anashanam fasting. So either you call it anashakam, which is same as anashanam. So anashanam means fasting, anashakam also means fasting. Tas ayanam pravesha. What is ayanam? Pravesha. So what is pravesha? Entry of the fasting. Krutsha chandrayanali anushthanam ityartha. So these are different vratas or vows for fasting. Krutsha is one kind, Chandra is another kind. That is the highest they have discovered, So that's the maximum fasting they can think of. Although Puranas describe a lot of fasting, but then here fasting is maximum Krutsha and Chandrayana. Tad anushtanasya jnanadvara. So this fasting and ayanam pravesha is continuous fasting. And therefore, so that's continuation in fasting. Anashakayanam is continuation in fasting. So anushtanasya jnanadvara, that fasting also is considered a very great thing. And there also through Antargana Shuddhi brings about knowledge, jnanadvara. Atma anashanam phalamiti. So that also brings about Atma anashanam phalam. The anashanam, so indestructible, and so deathlessness of the Atma. The phalaikyam aksharanugunyam cha. Again, that, so Bhashyakara, therefore going back to the passage, asayat anashakayanam ityachakshate. What they call anashakayanam iti, brahmacharyam, that is brahmacharya, because esha atma nanashyate yam brahmacharya anuvindate. So atma that is known through brahmacharya, that atma never gets destroyed. Atma known without brahmacharya, as we know, it gets destroyed because one looks upon oneself as mortal. But through Atma Anatma Viveka, when one knows the Atma as Asti Bhati Prem, then is Anashaka, is indestructible. And therefore, Esha hi Atma nanasyati yam brahmacharyena anuvindate. So, the one who knows Atma, the true nature of Atma, through brahmacharya, that Atma becomes indestructible. And so anashanam and anashakayanam. So there is aksharanugunyam. Therefore also the letters also follow there. So both way result also is same, anashanam, and the letters also are there. Third, aranyayanam. Now that is aranyayanam. See the tika. So then, tad anushthanasya jnanadvara atma anashanam phalam iti phalaikyam. So that as far as the anashana is concerned, fasting is concerned, through knowledge, it brings about the knowledge of the Atma. One knows oneself as anashaka. Anashanam meaning indestructible. So phalamiti phalaikyam. So brahmacharya also brings about self-knowledge, and this anashanam also brings about self-knowledge, phalaikyam. And then anashanam and anashakayanam. So that akshara anugunyam also is there. Then aranyanam se tika. Vanaprastha sannyasadi gamanam. Ayanam means gamanam. So aranya ayanam, aranyayanam. So Ramayanam, all of this is gamanam also. One of the meaning is ayanam. So is the travel of Rama. Went all the way from Ayodhya, then to Lanka and so on and so forth. So ayanam also means gamanam. So aranyayanam means what? Aranya gamanam. Vanaprastha sannyasadi gamanam. So when one takes to the ashrama, vanaprastha or sannyasa, then they go to forest. Tadi purushada sadhanatvena tatvena stuyate. So that also purushada sadhanatvena. That also is. So vanaprastha or sannyasa also are purushada sadhanam. So tatvena stuyate. So brahmacharyena stuyate. Aranya shabdevaho bhashyakar. But anyway, so yet aranyanam ityachakshate. What do they call aranyayanam? Living in the forest, going to forest or living in the forest. Brahmacharya meva, that also is brahmacharya. Because again you get the same result from living in forest and from brahmacharya. Therefore. Then says that arascha havai nyascha arnavau. That arnav means ocean. Arnav, there are two oceans. Now this description of Brahmaloka. In Brahmaloka there are two oceans or ocean-like lakes, we can say. Vast lakes. The ocean has salty water, lake has sweet water. And so there are two vast lakes in Brahmaloka. When it's called Ara, it's called Nya. So Aranya, that also, Aranya also has these two words, Ara and Nya. Therefore Aranyayanam also, therefore going to Brahmaloka. So then, so Arasya Anyascha Arnavo Brahmaloke. In Brahmaloka, these two vast lakes are there. One is called Ara, and it's called Nya. Trutiyasya, what is Brahmaloka? Trutiyasyam ito divi. Divi means in heaven. The third heaven. From here the third heaven from earth. Itaha. So then there is earth, bhuhu, there is bhuvaha, intermediate, and suvaha. Suva means heaven. So that suvaha, swaha includes all the heavens above also. Means suvaha, maha, janaha, tapaha, satyam, all of these words are also included. So when you say the Brahmaloka is the third heaven from here, it means that that third includes all those other four heavens, you know. So that way Brahmaloka is the last one. Then Tat Airam Madiyam Saraha. Again in Brahmaloka there is a Saraha, there is a lake. Aidam Madiyam. That mother means intoxication. Mother. Airam means that a kind of a gruel. So Airam Madiyam Saraha, a lake which contains exhilarating gruel. So if you eat that, so lake contains this Airam, which is gruel. And if you eat that, then you get, high, intoxicated. So devatas have all kinds of things there, I guess, So people in this human world have fascination, all this stuff, So I guess that must be there in the olden days also. fascination for getting intoxicated and they were getting away from this world and going to some new world. So person intoxicated is in his own world. And so whatever happens then they enjoy it. So there were, whether it is somapanam or whatever kind of things are always there, I guess, And so there were fascination for, imagine a whole lake full of an intoxicating substance, So that there is no dearth of that. Then Ashwatha Soma Savanaha. The Ashwatha means here is a banyan tree called Soma Savana. What is Soma? Soma is again that juice or that extract, rasa, which comes from the creeper Soma. So what is Soma Savana? That exudes Soma. So again Somapana also is exhilarating. Therefore, there is a banyan tree there called Soma Savana that exudes Soma. Very, very tempting things, Aparajita Puhu. Puhu means a city. It is called Pur or Pur, So Saraswatiji is there, Dirgha is there, Puri is there, Puram is there. So many words are there for the city. Aparajita. And so that which cannot be conquered. So unconquerable city of Brahma is there. So Brahmana Aparajita Puhu, that Puhu because of the feminine gender, Aparajita Puhu of Brahmaji, that is the inconquerable city of Brahma. Then Prabhu Vimitam Hiranmayam. And so also Mandapam. Then Hiranmayam Mandapam is there, Mandapa is there, a hall is there, which is in fact created by God Himself. Prabhu Vimitam. And so he is made by what? Hiranmayam, a golden hall, golden mandapa made by Lord Himself. All of these things are in the Brahmaloka. So Bhashyakara explains, Atha yata anashakayanam ityachakshade brahmacharyam eva tat. Atha thereafter, yat anashakam anashakayam ityachakshade. What to go? Anashakayam. Look at Anandagiri. Upavasa parayanatvam anashakayanam. Upavasa parayanatvam. So, continuation in fasting is called anashakayam. Here this Tikakara explained as fasting. Like Krutsha Charandra Anusthana. Anandagiri says anashakayanam means continuation in fasting. Katham brahmacharya antarbhavati. How does that also get included in brahmacharya? Iti asankya. So Bhashyakara says, or Shruti herself says, Yamatmanam brahmacharyena anuvindate saesha hi atma brahmacharya sadhanavato nanashyade tasmat anashakayanam api brahmacharyam eva. So anashakayam, there is this word anashaka also in there, So anashaka ayanam. So yama atmanam brahmacharya anuvindate. Atma that one knows through brahmacharya, through antagana shuddhi, shravanam, manam, etc. Sa yesha atma brahmacharya sadhanavatah. So atma that is known by the person who is following the vow of brahmacharya. When means sadhanavata, one possessed of the sadhanam, the means of spiritual means of brahmacharya. Nanashyade, that atma which is known by one through the vow of brahmacharya, that atma does not die, that atma is indestructible. Achedyoyam, adashyoyam, akledyo, shosyevacha, avyaktam, achintyoyam, avikaryo, etc. And so, then that Atma that you know through brahmacharya is what? Anashaka. And that Vrata also is Anashakayanam. The anasaka is the common thing in there. Therefore, no more falaikyam is there, that by the vrata of anasakayanam, you get the knowledge of the self, or by through brahmacharya also you get knowledge of the same self. So falaikya is there, and also shabdanugunyam is also there in anasakayanam, and atma is anasaka. So therefore, na nashyati tasmat anasakayanam brahmacharyam eva. Therefore, in the line 30 it is said, Tat anushtanasya jnanadvara atma anasanam phalamidi falaikyam. Meaning that if you follow the fasting also, they also bring about antakarana shuddhi and then knowledge and knowledge of self. And so, jnanadvara atma anasanam phalam. Now he becomes, so far he thought he was mortal. Now he recognizes himself immortal. So therefore this anasakayanam or continuation in fasting also ultimately brings about self-knowledge, knowledge of self, that is the indestructible or immortal, and brahmacharya also brings about knowledge of self, that is immortal. So that falaikyam is there, and also anasanam, atma is anasana, and anasakayanam. So therefore akshanugunyam also is there. So both ways you can say that anasakayanam also is included in brahmacharya. Thus these two meanings are given. Anasakayanam, where anashanam is one meaning and anasakam is another meaning. So how you split that word? In that way, Shabdanugunyam is seen here. Then further, atha yat aranyayanam ityasakshate brahmacharyam eva tata. Aranyayanam also, so says another aranyayanam, aranyavasa. Also this one said vanapasta sannyasadi gamanam. So aranyavasa, dwelling in the forest as a vanapasta or as a sannyasi, and then pursuing the knowledge. So that way dwelling in the forest also becomes a means of self-knowledge. Therefore, yet aranyayana, brahmacharya, that also is included in brahmacharya. Why this so? Says, aranya shabdayoho, arnavayoho, brahmacharyavataha, ayanat, aranyayanam, brahmacharyam. So brahmacharya vataha, the one who follows the law of brahmacharya, he is ayanat, he attains, so he goes where? Aranya shabdayoho, arnavayoho. So ara and nya, that's not here. Aranya is not aranya in forest. Aranya shabdayoho. What? Shabda means word. Ara and nya, these two words. Aranya shabdayoho, arnavayoho. So they are the two oceans. Brahmacharyavata ayanat. So one goes to Brahmaloka, those two oceans means goes to Brahmaloka. So the means of brahmacharya. Therefore, aranyayanam brahmacharyam. So that way akshanugunyam is there. What is it? That aranyayanam. So aranyayoho ayanat. So therefore aranyayanam. So one goes to aranya, ayanam, going to aranya means those two oceans also is aranyayanam. And aranyayanam means the dwelling in the forest. So again akshanugunyam is there and falaikyam is also there. In that sense, that aranyayanam also is included in brahmacharya. So that's what Tika said, Vanaprastha sannyasadi tadapi purusha sadhana tattvena stuyate aranya shabda vachayo ityartha. So aranya shabda means what? Aranya shabda vachayo. Not the word aranya, but what is implied by these two words is the meaning of these two words. So those two lakes, one goes as well as brahmacharya also. Okay, we'll continue. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyarutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.